to the Harborview, the show where we check the pulse on what's going on in Hingham. We'll give you some quick updates and things to check out and then speak with our community guests. Today, we'll be speaking with Rick Swanson, principal of Hingham High School, and Kevin Whalen, executive director of the South Shore Country Club, about their respective institutions and what we can anticipate from them in the near future. Let's start with some headlines provided by our town leads as well as our Harbor Media blogger, Carol Meyer. The Cleaner Greener Hingham Committee is proposing a ban on single-use plastic bags. The overriding message is that while plastic bags are convenient, recyclable, and part of everyday life, only 7% of them get recycled, while the rest take many years to break down, taking a toll on the environment and on wildlife. The ban, if approved, applies to the thin plastic bags available at grocery stores and pharmacies, but not produce, newspaper, or dry cleaning bags. Town meeting would have the final say. Hingham residents against the compressor station, in addition to town officials and residents in a number of neighboring communities, are strongly opposed to the natural gas compressor station proposed at the Fore River off Route 3A, since it would be located about 2 miles from the nearest part of Hingham. In support of the HRAC's efforts, the Hingham Selectmen voted on January 31st to appeal the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection's recent issuance of the air quality permit for the proposed station by the February 1st deadline. This could be a long haul for the South Shore, said Selectman Mary Power earlier. Given the limitations of the recent health impact assessment, we simply do not know the true impacts the proposed compressor station would have on the health, safety, and environment of Hingham, HRAC President Jen Mathian stated in a letter to the Selectmen. We do know, however, that there is an impact on Hingham. It will be negative. In Massachusetts, breast cancer incidence rates are 12% higher than the national average, which estimates that 1 in 8 U.S. women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. Only 5 to 10% of breast cancers are associated with the high-risk BRCA1 and BRCA2 genes. Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition is the only advocacy breast cancer nonprofit working towards the prevention of environmental causes of the disease. On Saturday, March 30th, 2019, Massachusetts Breast Cancer Coalition invites Massachusetts residents to register for the first ever Run for Prevention, an event to raise awareness and support for the fight against breast cancer. The event will take place at Bear Cove Park in Hingham, Mass., located along the banks of the Weymouth Back River. It features USATF certified 5 or 10 mile runs, 2-mile fitness walk, and a 1-mile kids fun run. Registration is $40 for the 10-mile run, $35 for the 5-mile run, $25 for walk participants, and $10 for a kids fun run. Prizes will be awarded to the top finishers in each competitive event. All right, well, I'm here today with Rick Swanson, and thank you for coming to the show. He's principal of Hingham High School, as most of you out there in TV land know, but I just want to welcome him on the show. And Rick, I kind of want to start off and just kind of let folks that don't know, a little bit more about your background in education, and kind of all the commitment and time you've spent in the community working in education. So, how'd you get into the role as principal?
Sure. Well, thanks, Graham. Pleasure to be here tonight. This is my second year as principal at Hingham High School, and my 12th year with Hingham Public Schools altogether. I was an assistant principal at Hingham for 10 years under the legendary Dr. Gerard McCann, who retired 2 years ago after 17 years as our principal, and it was my great honor to be her assistant principal for the last 10 years of her tenure. And during that time, I really became so attached to this community and really enjoyed my time working here so much that I knew that I wanted to be a principal someday, and more than that, I knew that I wanted to be Hingham High School's principal someday, and really thrilled that that opportunity presented itself about 1.5 years ago. And this comes after a lengthy career as a teacher. I taught for 3 years in Chicago, in the inner city out there, then moved back home to Massachusetts and was a history teacher at Silver Lake High School down in Kingston, which happens to be my alma mater. And after 7 years there, went to Duxbury High School as social studies department head for 5 years. And that's something I try not to speak about too much in the halls of Hingham High School because they're such an arch rival. Although it was a terrific experience, I really enjoyed working there as well.
But I think, but having that deep background in education and just the variety of places that you've, like learn from as a teacher, as an educator. I think that speaks volumes of kind of, you know, what you're bringing to the community here and stuff. So
well, I hope so, and it's been an honor to work in every one of those places, and I would say that the time I've spent at Hingham has been so rewarding. This is where I'd love to spend the remainder of my career, and really invest in this school over the next decade and perhaps more, to try to help build our school into the best school that it can possibly be. I think we already do so many things well, but it's a constant challenge to try to keep improving, try to bring it to another level, and to have the pleasure working alongside really a tremendous faculty with great kids, and in a community that values education as much as Hingham does, is a tremendous it's a tremendous opportunity and a great joy every day.
Yeah. What are some of the unique aspects to being an educator, being a principal in the community of Hingham in terms of you know, this area, this community? What sort of makes that maybe different, maybe special, you know, for you, and what kind of drives you?
Well, I do think, as I said before, it's a community that really values education so much. It's a tremendous priority. It's why so many people who may not originally be from here have decided to make this their home. And that was true for me as well. I have two children who are in 7th grade, twins who are 13 years old, and for my wife and I, choosing to live in Hingham had more to do with the schools than with anything else.
Right.
And although for my wife this is home, she grew up here.
Right.
And there are lots of folks here who grew up here and want to stay here, and then so many others who have chosen to make this their home because of the strength of the school system. And there's a lot to be said for that, and it's a pleasure to be part of that.
Yeah, to have people actually come here as well too for the schools and for education. I mean, that probably definitely says a lot, I would say, about, you know, just the type of school systems that are here and the type of staff and you know, all the educators working hard. And
it creates very high expectations for us as well, which is pressure, but it's also in the best possible way. It's the expectation to build a tremendous public school system. And you know, I love the famous line from Mark Twain, who said over 100 years ago, "The greatness of our country flows from the public schools." And that's a responsibility for anybody who works in public schools anywhere in this country. And I think to be able to do so in a community that enjoys the resources that we have, the energy and the talent that our teachers bring and that our kids bring every day, makes this a really kind of exciting, robust, vibrant place to go to work every day.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. What type of things are you guys focused on, sort of in, you know, whether it be the next few weeks, months, year? I mean, what are some of your goals, you know, right now that are on the horizon for you guys?
Sure, big question, and I guess right in a big school where, you know, we have over 1,200 students who show up every day, 100 or so teachers who come every day, and working at a really large enterprise. So short-term goals, if you asked anyone in the next couple of days, it's going to be get to vacation.
Right, yeah.
We're now 2 days from February vacation, and we've made it this far with no snow days. It's been an incredible year so far. 2 championship parades, one for the Red Sox and one for the Patriots, and those as sort of highlights to the work that's gone on within our classrooms, which I think has been a continuation of really the academic rigors and strengths that our school is known for. But alongside that, we've seen really a steady string of success, both with extracurricular club activities. Our sports teams have turned in tremendous seasons so far, and as we look ahead after vacation, we'll come back to tournament time. And
so it'll be busy. Yeah.
It'll be busy. It's really been an incredible winter season for our sports team so far. We're pretty sure that our boys hockey team, which happens to be the top-ranked public school team in the entire state right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And all that credit goes to our coaches and players who've worked so hard. And almost certainly they'll head back to the Super 8 this year and have a chance maybe to do what they've done one time, as one of only a very small handful of public schools ever have done, to win the Super 8. Our girls team doing very, very well. Both boys and girls basketball teams enjoying tremendous seasons. They both clinched league championships and have high hopes for the tournament. Our wrestling team has won its 7th straight Patriot League championship. Several of their wrestlers going on to state and probably eventually New England championships. So all sorts of things, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. I hesitate to even get into it because I'll be forgetting some teams and programs that have done equally well.
Lots of athletic achievements, lots of very vibrant community that way, obviously, and school that way. So.
Yeah, no question. But you know, alongside that, other goals, we spent a lot of time this year working at one of our major school goals. It's one of our school improvement goals for this year, as a matter of fact, that our school council and others within the school community have worked on, is trying to expand the advisory program that we started a number of years ago for our 9th grade students, to improve transition for students into the high school, and to invest in devoting greater energy and trying to do a better job at meeting the social emotional needs of students.
Right.
And to expand that advisory program beyond just 9th grade to serve all of our school. We've got a task force started that's looking at ways to do that and try to find the best ways that we can support students, not just in the classroom academically, which I think we've always done a tremendous job with, but to support them in confronting the stresses and rigors of trying to live up to the expectations that have been set for them. That's really, I think, a major issue for schools everywhere. The rising anxiety, stress, depression among high school students is a national problem, and here as well.
Do you almost feel like it's like the better the school's doing, the bar continues to rise for the school, which is obviously a great thing. It makes it sometimes not harder, but like there's more pressure, I guess, like you were saying, when it comes to middle school kids transitioning into that level. Is that something you feel like?
I think so. I really do think that you know, alongside the tremendous success that so many students in our school have had, there's another side to that very often, which is trying to live up to incredibly high expectations. And you know, to be driven and to work hard is a terrific thing, and it's what we want for kids. But we also want kids to be happy more than anything else. And so we need to keep that front and center and look for ways to help students deal with the probably greater anxiety and stress than ever before. That makes sense. So working with like the middle schools and the younger grades and making sure that they're thinking about Hingham High School and what it's going to be like, what the expectations are going to be like, and how to adjust and be ready and prepared, I guess. It certainly has been a district-wide initiative, K-12, and you know, over the last couple of years, our district leadership has done a great job in helping to lead the way. And at the school level, for us, it has taken the particular form now of looking at how can we do a better job with our advisory program. But K-12, it's something that we've looked at in all of our schools.
That definitely makes sense.
And
so, you know, kind of going off some of the challenges and things that you know, you deal with in your particular school and in the district. I know that there is a superintendent switch happening. You know, can you kind of tell me more about sort of how you guys are looking at you know, preparing to deal with that and working with the parents and students to get through that process and what that means?
Sure.
I'm sure people have a lot of questions. So.
A big time of transition for us. We'll be saying, I don't want to say we were saying goodbye, because I hope she's staying in town and we'll still see Dr. Gallo very frequently, but she's really been a tremendous superintendent for a long time, and she's been a Hingham lifer, grew up here, was a teacher here, was an assistant principal, a department head, was an assistant superintendent, and now has been a long-serving, really outstanding superintendent for our school district, and deserves probably more credit than anybody ever has as an individual for contributions to this district. She's retiring at the end of this year, as everybody knows. So obviously a major transition. Dr. Gallo as superintendent and as the leader of our district is pretty much all anybody can remember.
So it's sort of this weird moment where, okay, what's next?
What's next, right? And she certainly has left the district in a very, very sound, strong, flourishing condition. And so her successor has the great advantage of coming into a system that is very strong, well established, and an incredible record of success. And he had a chance to talk to him on a number of occasions, and was really impressed by the credentials and the personality and the skill set that Dr. Paul Austin will bring to Hingham Public Schools when he comes down here to start on July 1st. And actually we've seen him since his appointment several weeks ago. We've seen him once already. He came to a Friday night basketball game about 2 weeks ago, was introduced at halftime, received a rousing, warm welcome from our student section. It was literally a standing ovation, which I took as a very auspicious start to his introduction here in Hingham. And I think he'll be embraced by our teachers, our students, and the community as a whole.
So you guys are working like things like that, where people will get to see his face and get the introduction early on, and he gets to interact and stuff. So that's good.
He's very personable, and I think we're going to see a lot of him. And he'll also have the great advantage of working alongside an experienced assistant superintendent, Dr. Jamie LaBillois, who's been alongside Dr. Gallo now for the past several years. And I think the two of them will make a tremendous team as leaders in our district.
And his background's been, as a teacher or as a, can you kind of?
Yeah, Dr. Austin was a school psychologist, and then he was a director of special education in Brunswick, Maine, and has been superintendent now up in Waldo County, which is a rural county, but serves a very large population.
Yeah.
It has a different feel than Hingham, not suburban so much as rural. Although his experience in Brunswick, I think, also feels a lot more like Hingham.
Yeah.
We visited his former community there. Actually went up for a site visit, met a whole bunch of people who he's worked with over the last 20 years or so. And we're so impressed by the impact that he's made on the districts where he's worked, and also just the genuine affection and loyalty that he's inspired among the people he's worked with up there.
They've really gotten close working with him, and yeah, it makes sense.
Absolutely, and they certainly were not happy to see him leave Maine.
Which is a good thing for Hingham.
It speaks well about the kind of person that we're bringing down
exactly.
here, and I think he's going to fit right in. I know he was shopping for houses when he was down here a couple of weeks ago, and I hope he'll find one close to Hingham, if not in Hingham, but be close by, and I really think he's going to be embraced by this community.
We're happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So what's it like to be principal? Like in 1 week of being principal, I mean, you must be just every day. There's new things. It's never the same.
It's never dull. Yeah, that's for sure. A friend warned me when I started that it would feel like drinking from the fire hose, and there are days when I think it does feel like drinking from the fire hose. It's constant, constantly challenging, but constantly rewarding and really energizing work.
Right.
I love going there every day, and I'm there for a long time every day. There are long weeks and there are long days, but they're constantly interesting. And the amount of people, caliber of people that I'm interacting with constantly it's just it's really exciting, way to spend my time, and feel like you have an opportunity to make an impact in this work too, and it's fun.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah,
it's got to be.
Yeah. No regrets.
Right, and then you were assistant principal for a period of time as well, obviously. So you've.
Yeah, so I think I had I had a sense. Although when I decided to apply for this job, I remember Dr. Gerard McCann warning me, saying, "Rick, take the amount of time you're working now, and I know you're working hard, but double that. That's what it's going to feel like." And while that may not literally be true in terms of doubling the hours, it does in some ways feel like double the responsibility.
Yeah.
But maybe it's double the rewards. It's certainly gratifying, that's for sure.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you feel like there's any other challenges right now in the state or in the local level that educators, principals, schools, students are facing right now that you see as something that needs to be tackled in the next few years or looking forward?
It's funny you asked that as we're preparing now for the next round of MCAS testing.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a few weeks off when we are delivering computer-based MCAS testing for the first time at the high school level. First with ELA at the end of March, and then with math in May, and then with biology in June. And just last week we did the retests in the MCAS biology, and I was talking with some other principals about the amount of time and energy that goes into the preparation for and execution of standardized testing. And it is such an incredible demand that is placed on school administrators, on students, and on teachers. And I think it's got all of us wondering, do we really have those priorities set properly?
Right.
And given the amount of time that we're devoting to those tasks, which we can then not be dedicating to other tasks which might feel more meaningful.
Right, like the curriculum that your teachers are focused on locally, not the
right.
testing.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
Just to give you one example, last week I had to attend a 2.5-hour webinar preparing for the computer-based testing. That's the first half of it. In 2 days, there's another 2.5-hour webinar.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, creating the whole schedule for delivering that testing to all of our 10th grade students,
right.
assigning the proctors, preparing the technology for it, and making all the accommodations that the whole school has got to make in order to allow that to happen. I don't really want to think about how many hours that is, but I know those hours cannot be spent on other tasks that, or hours that can't be spent out interacting with students and teachers, being in classrooms. Right. And, that kind of thing worries me a little bit.
Yeah, because there's only so much time in a day, and usually, like you said, it's pretty packed already, even when you're not prepping for a test. So then you add that on, and it sounds like it's almost an operational piece to put these tests on. I think people kind of sometimes forget about that. It's not just, the student preparation and whatnot. It's more, all the back end things you guys have to do, like trainings, right. Webinars, scheduling. It's a lot more than people understand, I think.
Right, which feels very nuts and bolts. It feels very managerial, and it doesn't really inspire you in the way that you want to be inspired.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, our great task as educators is to inspire students, not to manage their day and not to test them endlessly with standardized tests, but to inspire them and help them find their passions. And that's where we need to really spend our efforts. And I promise you we will.
Yeah.
We won't lose sight of that. But it seems to be an ever greater challenge to get to that in the face of the bureaucratic demands and the mandates that come down from state or federal government, often around standardized testing.
Yeah.
Could be a frustration.
What would you say to someone who is a younger person who might be interested in becoming not only a teacher, but maybe a principal, or get involved with the administration, maybe not necessarily in Hingham, but just in general with, at the high school level in schools?
Right. Good question. I would say for me, I've never had any regrets about choosing this path.
Yeah.
I loved every minute as a teacher. I do really miss that.
Yeah.
I will say, honestly, there are days when I look very longingly into the classrooms of our building and see how much fun teachers are having in there, and kind of want to go back in and teach a history lesson. And I will sometimes get the opportunity to do that. Miss O'Connor was nice enough to welcome me into her history classroom not too long ago, and there are other
that experience again.
Right, and it feels like a nice tall glass of water. It's very refreshing to me when I walk out, feeling good about that. But I've really enjoyed the work as an administrator as well, and I think it's a chance to have an impact beyond your own classroom. And that was a lesson imparted to me by my own high school principal, a great school leader that some people locally may remember, John McEwen, who went on to, after being principal at Silver Lake and was superintendent at Whitman-Hanson, and was urging me, throughout my early career as a teacher, to look toward becoming an administrator, first as a department head and later as a principal. And that's the path that John had traveled as well. And I saw how much he really loved his work, and how much he felt as though he made a difference. And I know for so many people he really did. And that's my goal, to really try to live up to that, and to try to have an impact on our school becoming the best school it can possibly be. And so for a young person who's interested in making an impact, I think it's a great way to do it. You won't get rich, but I don't think anybody should enter their career with the goal of making money. The goal should be to try to make a difference, and here's one place that you can really try to do that. And,
that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, and it's always exciting.
It sounds like it.
Never boring.
Yeah, and busy.
True.
Very busy.
Yeah,
so if
you gotta have energy.
Yeah, if you have energy and you need, to constantly be doing something, then it's probably
right. It may be the thing for you.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, a lot of parents, I'm sure, have questions sometimes and want to get in contact with the school. or certain departments, maybe get in contact with the administration, maybe they have questions. What are some of the best resources in general for parents, kids in the community when they're not in school?
Sure. Most folks in town are not bashful about reaching out, which is good. Which is good. We really do. We want to hear from people, and I would say for contacting a teacher, it's typically email. Really, probably for most people in the school district now, the most efficient way is to shoot an email. We've all got the same stem of our email addresses. It's at hinghamschools.org, and you plug in the first name and the first letter of the first name and the last name, and you'll find the person. For me as a school administrator or any other school administrator, typically, a phone call to the main office or an email will get you a response pretty quickly. And the email inbox is always full. And you can't stay on top of it, but you'll get an answer very quickly.
And you guys are always posting events and like resources on the website, I'm sure, too.
Absolutely. Our website is updated daily. I sent tweets out daily as well, so you'll see those on the homepage. The latest ones you'll see on the homepage, or follow on Twitter. That's a good way to get some breaking news. Yeah. And then for parents in the school community, you'll regularly be receiving emails from me or from your other principal, if you're a parent of somebody at one of the other schools. Newsletters and that sort of thing.
Well, Rick, hey, thanks for coming on.
All right, Graham, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
We wish you the best going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, take care.
So I'm here with Executive Director Kevin Whalen of the South Shore Country Club. Welcome, Kevin. How you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on. We're happy to have you. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more about how you became Executive Director and just sort of your background in the area.
Yeah, I've had I've experience as operations managing in the past. I worked at DCR for 10 years, which is the Department of Conservation and Recreation. So I was the deputy commissioner there for a while, as well as being in charge of aquatics, which is all the pools across the whole state and beaches. So I've had a lot of experience, in operations side of things, but also in financial as well, working at State Street Bank for almost 16 years as well. So I think combining the two, it's a great fit for me here to be the executive director of the South Shore Country Club. When I was at DCR, we had oversight of 2 golf courses, Ponkapog, which is in Canton, and also Leo J. Martin, which is in Wellesley as well. So we had oversight and did some big projects at Ponkapog to kind of bring those courses back.
Wow. Yeah,
exciting stuff. It was good.
Very extensive background too, and being from Massachusetts, I'm very familiar with DCR as well.
Yeah, and it was a great opportunity. I mean, I just happened to see the the ad for the when we came back. I started August 1st of 2018. It's been 6 months. It's been a great journey. I've been very fortunate. The staff at the country club is truly wonderful. From the golf superintendent, who just works miracles on the course. Jake Silver just does a wonderful job, and the head pro Chris Riley and the assistant pro Mike Libby are great instructors and also great professionals as well, and do a good job of managing the members, but also the the daily patrons that come through the course.
Yeah, so it helps to have obviously a great team, great staff as well too. It does,
right. I'm very fortunate in that regard because although my operations background, it's not like I have like a day-to-day oversight of golf courses. So it's been helpful to have a very great professional staff already in place, and it's been pretty seamless in my transition to running the day-to-day operations.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And obviously a lot of people know South Shore Country Club, but for those that don't, I mean, what are you guys in a nutshell in terms of what you provide and offer for the community?
Okay, so the South Shore Country Club is owned by the town of Hingham. It was purchased in 1987 for $7 million. So it's a little over 30 years. So the town has actually paid off the bond that they borrowed to purchase it. So we are 154 acres, a great course. We're probably one of the premier municipal courses in the state of Massachusetts. We have 3 tennis courts. We have a 10-lane bowling alley. We also have a swimming pool. One of the things that the swimming pool definitely needs to be redone. We have to kind of build a new swimming pool because the pool is about 60 years old and basically has reached the end of its useful life. So that's one of the things that we'll talk about a little bit more. But we offer, permit holders to, great facility at a reasonable price for golf, and we have great recreation. We partner with Hingham Recreation to offer a large number of different sport camps, tennis, golfing, which, throughout the summer, which provides great instruction to the kids at a lot of different levels. And so we do that, and they come in, they are able to swim there, they're able to go in and bowl when it's really hot, but also come for the instruction that they're coming for as well, whether it's tennis, golf as well. So we offer a variety of different things, and it's always it's open to the public. It's not a private course, as we said, so it's a municipality, and the town of Hingham residents do get a discount. About 10% discount, so we lowered our rates for permit holders this year by 10%, and obviously the Hingham will also get an additional 10% off of the regular rates for non-residents.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So lots of resources, like you're saying. If someone's there and they're interested in different things, golfing, swimming, they can do kind of a little bit of everything.
Right. So we partner, as I mentioned, with the Hingham Recreation, and they run the pool. So we kind of outsource that, and they hire all the lifeguards and things of that nature. So you can become a member for the summer through Hingham Rec, and also sign up for any of the sports camps that happen there. And we work as a team, to provide the services.
Yeah, definitely. So what are some of the goals you guys have right now in terms of new developments? New things on the horizon? I mean, a lot of the facilities have been enjoyed for years by people that you guys have had. Is there new things that folks should look out for?
Yeah, I think, obviously the big thing for us and our mission really is to provide a great recreational experience for anyone that comes to the, to the country club, on a day-to-day basis. So we really strive to, have great customer service, and also provide a great product out on the course, but wherever you are on our grounds. So I think, our team does, do that, very well. We really do a great job, I think, of providing, a great course and a great experience every day. The big thing too right now is the swimming pool. They've done a study for the swimming pool, and it needs to be replaced. I mean, there's just no, we're at the point where we just need to replace the pool if we're going to be running. So we might be able to get a few more years out of the pool. We're hoping for that we currently have. It's an outdoor. It's currently an outdoor facility. And so there's some issues structurally with the pool that basically we're not going to be able to have it for too much longer. So what prior to me coming here, they've done a study. They've got community preservation money to do the study, and they've also were at a town meeting last year. They got a grant from the CPC, which for $350,000, which the Friends of South Shore Country Club are working to match that funding, and so that we'll be able to go into design phase for the pool. Now, the pool that we're looking at is not the type of pool it's an indoor pool. It'll be more of an aquatic center. I do have a picture here, kind of can show you all here. So this is the pool. And one of the things that we're looking at, this is a picture of a 6-lane pool, kind of a rendering. What we would do is we would look at for like an 8-lane pool, because that's what you would need for swim teams, and just have more functionality in the pool. And the other part of the pool here would have is the outdoor side as well, this would be an outdoor wading pool.
Oh, very nice.
So it would be an outdoor wading pool for some of the younger kids.
For all ages.
Right,
sort of.
For all ages, right. So, and it's more family driven. So, right now the Friends are really active in fundraising, working to raise the money so we can go into the design phase. So what we're doing a Kentucky Derby party on May 4th.
Excellent.
Yeah, so should be a big event at the country club. So, one of the things that we do have is we have a tent at the pool at the country club. We also have 2 large function rooms as well. So between everything, we're going to be flowing, pretty much have the whole lower part of the country club for that day.
So all that space?
All that space.
Wow.
we're going to have a big soiree,
Cool.
a big for Kentucky Derby party. We're hoping to, raise a lot of funds and to, build our, towards our goal to be able to go into the design phase for the pool.
Well, those kind of parties usually have a pretty good turnout.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. You're more than welcome to come back.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And so just to remind everyone, the way the funding works is that when you guys have new developments like the pool or new projects, it needs to be matched, basically.
So we're an enterprise fund, which means that although we're an entity of the town, any expenditures that we raise, we have to bring in the revenue to spend that money. So with the pool it's strictly going to be either CPC money, some funding from CPC, in fundraising, and then spin off of revenue from the facility and also from the country club as a whole.
Do you guys do a lot of fundraisers throughout the year in general?
Or do you generally not. I mean, we've had like what we call the Hingham Scramble in the fall, which is just a golf tournament that is raises funds for for the golf course itself, and we usually try to do like one large project. I mean, we have a great historical course. Our 100th anniversary is coming up in 2022, so a few years away. So we have a great course that's recognized, and we try to do some projects that kind of make sure that we maintain the course's integrity.
Is there a lot of maintenance on the golf course?
Oh yeah, we have. I mean, we have a lot of staff. I mean, especially during the season. Obviously, in the wintertime, we're down a little bit lower, or significantly lower. But during the season, we have quite a few. I mean, our people are up at 4:30 in the morning, up on the tractors and mowing the lawns and the fairways and the rough and greens and tees and approaches. So it's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of work. I mean, just doing the traps, the sand traps and things of that nature, the bunkers, maintaining all of that, and it's 154 acres, and so people can imagine, what it's like to maintain a half acre of their lawn around their house.
Managing a golf course in New England too. It's
exactly.
The weather, the seasons.
And thank goodness that's, although it's my ultimate responsibility, I have a great person who's does a wonderful job and has been at the course for 10 years. And I think if you talk to anyone that has had the experience of playing our course, I mean, they always sing his praises and our staff's praises because they work hard and they're always out there hustling.
Do you guys have any new resources coming up that you guys might be offering, or maybe resources that people don't always know about? Like kind of
I think one of the things is the bowling alley. I mean, the bowling. We have a lot of leagues. And we have, we're open 9 to 5, but then there's leagues after that. So
there are.
Yeah, so it's 10 lanes. And we also have golf simulators, which people can go and play. And at the simulated golf, we have 3 bays for that as well. That are very busy throughout the winter, but you can call, just book a tee time, much like you would book a tee time at during the season. So we are open too. So you can believe it. Some people played yesterday at a course. Nice. So I think we offer the tennis courts are up there as well. We don't charge for that. That's just open to the public, and you can use it anytime. So we do lease out the space for the Greenside Grill and the function space. So we have a great vendor that does a wonderful job there as well. So that is open year round as well.
Do you guys have like a gym as well too? Do you guys do
we don't have a gym.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have a gym, but that's maybe someday in the future.
It might be the next thing.
When we do build the pool, I mean, it does have some workout facilities there as well. So we do have full service locker rooms though. So if you are a permit holder, if you want to, after you golf on a hot day, you can, you have locker space and things of that nature. So we have a great space. It's like I said, we're looking forward to our 100th anniversary in 2022, and we're building towards that.
So what would be the date for 2022? Do you know yet?
I don't know the date right off the top of my head.
But you'll be posting that event?
Yes, we will. So, and of course, the Kentucky Derby, as I said, party, which is going to be a big event. That's on May 4th. We do have the Friends of South Shore Country Club, which is our fundraising arm for they're a sanctioned charity. So any donations are tax deductible for the Friends.
Tax deductible. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. And so, how do people find out more about? There's obviously a website.
Yeah, the Friends have a Facebook page,
right.
And so they have a Facebook page, and they've been doing much more of social media as late. So I think we've been trying to get out the word as far as not the whole facility, but the improvement project that we're trying to propose here with the new pool project that we're looking to try to fund and get some fundraising so we can move forward with the project. So you can go to the Facebook page. You can call me at the country club as well, and we can direct you to some of the folks that are working feverishly to make that happen.
Right, and they'll tell you kind of what they're interested in, and you can direct them best. And
and if you want to join the country club, you can come up at any time. We get like I mentioned, pro Chris Riley and assistant pro Mike Libby. I mean, they'll work with you, so you can become a permit holder and golf as many times as you want throughout the season.
Do you have a lot of different types of memberships, or is there one membership that sort of lets you?
Yeah, so there's 2 types really of memberships, and it all depends on your age. So of course we have the resident and non-resident, but then we also have limited and unlimited. So a limited member is essentially what it means is that you can't play. You play Monday through Friday anytime, and then on weekends you can't play until like 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so but unlimited play means you can play at any time, and you get a little earlier ability to book tee times as far as I think like 5 days out.
Right, so it kind of depends on what someone's schedule is or what they're looking for, how often they want to play golf.
Exactly, exactly. So when a lot of people like just want to do Monday through Friday, or they'll play later in the afternoon on Saturday.
And do you need other special memberships for other things, or that kind of?
That's about it. I mean, it's the kind of the two things. It's obviously there's a lot of like whether you're a senior or junior, or junior memberships. We have a great junior membership program. We had almost 70 kids join last year, and it's only $325 for a junior membership for the whole season. So it's a great value, and we had, like I said, I think just under 70 kids last year. So it's a pretty vibrant group, which is great because those kids kind of come out during the day all summer long. So it's a great event. We do obviously a lot of golf outings as well. So if you're planning for your own charity, you're looking to do a golf outing, we do a significant number. We did about 40 events last year. So it's a great way for
just for golf?
Just for golf tournaments, yeah.
Whoa.
So 40 different organizations came in and ran a tournament of all kinds of different sizes there, and we do corporate events as well. So if you wanted to, book a corporate event where you wanted to do your own tournament or what have you, it's just for your staff to come out. We do that as well. So we have, we have the great facilities with the tent. So for a cookout or barbecue, whatever you want to do, after the event, or just you could do a full dinner in one of the function rooms as well.
So corporate events, parties. Birthday parties, golf events.
Absolutely, we do
a lot of different options.
A lot of birthday parties in the bowling alley.
Yeah.
In the simulator room as well. So it's a room that holds about 40, can hold up to 40 people, and you can set up the different simulators. So if you wanted to play Pebble Beach, you could play Pebble Beach or Pinehurst or any one of the famous courses. You can play those courses as well.
When you think about people in Hingham and what they think of the South Shore Country Club, or how they feel about it, or how their relatives did in the past growing up here, what kind of feelings you think would come to mind in terms of how it relates to people's experience in this town?
Well, in my short stay, I think everyone has so many different stories about growing up in Hingham, and South Shore Country Club is definitely woven into the fabric of Hingham. From where kids used to come and swim at when they were little kids, and doing all the different things that they do. Their dad would play, and then their mother and them would be at the pool, whatever it may be. But I think everybody has their own stories of South Shore Country Club, and whether they've moved on from South Shore Country Club, I think it holds definitely a special place in everybody's heart as far as coming here and enjoying a great time when they were kids or growing up. And so many of them, this is where they played golf and grew up playing golf.
You love being the executive director?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, it's a great opportunity for me, and it's came at a great stage in my career. It's it's a lot of fun. I enjoy the business aspect of it, and just meeting so many different interesting people. So it's just a great joy, and I've really enjoyed my time here.
That sounds like a really fun experience.
It is fun. I don't have as much stress as your previous stress or DCR. That's definitely for sure. As I told someone, the most stressful part of my job is that it's in my job description that I have to golf on a regular basis. So that's not a bad thing.
No complaints there, right?
Exactly.
Kevin, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Graham, thank you. Appreciate it.